Hey there, welcome to another long overdue episode of Your Opinions Voice. I've been lazy, I've been procrastinating. Ogo, once your alarm rings, get up. It's a little rusty over here. So this episode has been long overdue because it's been a while since I have shot a video or even posted any, and it's because I've been in a whole situation. I've been lazy, I've been procrastinating. Let's say I've been a little irresponsible with my assignments. But yes, it's good to be here again, hopefully, and I hope everyone is doing well. First question, how are you doing? How are you really doing? Anyways, straight into the video. I'm supposed to be talking about self-control today and its effects. This is one of the topics I didn't have to write down. I'll say it was inspired of the Lord. Really, there are just lots of times that I had seen so many situations and circumstances around me, so many scenarios playing, and I'm just I definitely have to talk about this self-control issue. God, it's been a lot. I've seen a lot. I have, many times one thing just happens. I'm just reminded of the fact that this video needs to be shot. Anyways, welcome back to Your Opinions Voice. All right. So yeah, what's self-control? So about this video, today's video is one of those videos that I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know what direction we're really going. My brain is not really focused on anything specifically right now, but I just know that I want to talk about self-control, right? So first of all, what's self-control? Now, I'm a Christian, so I would like to start from the point of saying that it's a fruit of the Spirit. But beyond it being the fruit of the Spirit, beyond it being a fruit of the Spirit, what's self-control? Self-control is really being able to control yourself, being able to be the boss of yourself, being able to tell yourself, I will do this, I will not do this. Basically, you being able to give yourself something to follow and actually follow it. Now, one thing about human beings is to say that many times we find it hard to follow rules. We find it hard to do what is right. Let's just go as simple as, just seeing a sign that says, do not touch. Our self-control could be so low, maybe not everybody, definitely not everybody. Self-control could be so low that you touch it because it's simply a rule. But self-control is really just being able to control yourself. And I believe the amount of self-control a person is able to, develop really affects how they handle situations in life. It depends. It affects how they're able to control scenarios around them. It affects how you're able to make decisions, how you're able to overcome temptations, right? Self-control and temptations go hand in hand. You cannot remove both of them. Let's even spiritually, physically, you cannot remove temptations and self-control because about the whole sign thing is because you're tempted to touch it that you touch it. So it's a matter of, is your self-control high enough for you to overcome a temptation, or is it not? I'm sorry. It's because I am a little it's a little rusty over here. I've not shot a video in a while, but that aside, I don't know how long this video is going to be, like I originally said, and I have not even written anything. I'm purely speaking from experiences, knowledge acquired over time. I'm speaking as God has opened my eyes to see, right? And as much as it relates to you, just share with us in the comment section. One of the things that I try to do personally as a person is to develop my self-control in little bits and pieces. As little as saying, Ogo, once your alarm rings, get up. As little as sometimes self-control is as far as saying that if this is for me, for example, at a particular point in my life, because that's what I'm doing presently, I said I wanted to sleep for 8 hours max, not minimum. I don't think it was maximum, right? And I said that to wake up at a particular time, I think I was 7 o'clock, I'll have to sleep as early as 10. I'm not even doing the math right now, but I think that was what I did. And so my self-discipline goes as far as saying that I must sleep by 10. Sometimes you could be carried away watching something, or maybe you're busy with a conversation, or maybe there's a gist going on and you just really want to engage. Self-control is saying that I must sleep. As good as sleep is, and lots of people will really just run to sleep, some people need to exercise self-control to sleep. For example, so for me, because I know that self-control has its way of affecting so many things around me that we'll possibly talk about as we advance in this video, I try to build my self-control in bits and pieces. So when I set that goal for myself, sleep by 10, wake up by 7. My goal was that once it's 10, go no excuses, sleep, except it's something that you absolutely cannot avoid. Sleep by 10. Once it is 7 and you hear your alarm, get up, get up and get moving, right? Nobody is really scoring me for this. Nobody is really marking my script on this one. Oh, God is marking my script because he sees that I'm exercising self-control. But like, nobody's really commending me, even though some people could. But that's not the point. Sometimes I could live, I could be living alone and no one is even really saying that I'm doing these things. But what's the point of what I'm saying is that in little bits and pieces, I am building my self-control. Like, I literally give myself exercises. I don't know if this is how everybody operates, but like, I like to give myself exams, right? When we're in school, you'd find out that students would set themselves questions in preparation for tests and exams. Oh, this question might come out, let me just set for myself. If I get everything, yeah, I'm getting ready, right? Even in real life, I like to set exams and tests for myself, right? So I could also go as far as saying that, oh, okay, so for me, I live in a duplex, and sometimes it could be very hard for me to finish eating and take my plate downstairs, especially when it is in the night. I don't really like to do that movement. But my self-control, I did this for a while. I'll say that, oh, go, once you're done eating, take your plate downstairs and wash it. So if we were able to, if we were able to wash upstairs, it would have been totally perfect. So the thing is, we actually do have an upstairs kitchen, but it is not functional in any way. I would like to think that if we had a functional upstairs kitchen, I would do better. But like, I had to push myself further to say, oh, go, it doesn't matter what it is. Once you're done eating, take your plate downstairs and wash. Now, no one really needs to commend me for washing my plate. It's your plate, go and wash it, right? But I did that for a while. Make sure that once I take it downstairs, I don't just drop it, I actually wash it. And sometimes it's hard. Maybe there's no light or one thing or the other, and I'm just like, well, I'll take the plate downstairs tomorrow when I'm stepping downstairs. But that's by the way. I've compromised my self-control a little bit, right? I don't know if y'all know where I am driving towards, but these are little steps that I take to build up my self-control, and no one is necessarily setting the questions for me or marking my script for me. At least not anybody that we can see here. There is a big picture. Let's think of it this way. When I was a lot younger, I used to play with some kind of jigsaw puzzle, like an actual one, not the one on the phone. And like, there is a big picture, but like, little pieces of puzzles make up the big picture once you put them together, right? And I would like to think that those little puzzle pieces are the little steps that we take to building and making the big picture picturable. Anyways, let's say self-control is the big picture, or let's say life fulfillment is the big picture. Self-control, or like the little bits of exams or tests that you give to yourself to build your self-control, are part of like the little puzzle pieces that you're putting to get the bigger picture. It's like saying that I want to become an engineer and I refuse to go to primary school or secondary school. Like, you need to take little steps before you can see the actual big picture. Or let's talk about saying I want to walk to the door, or I want to walk to a junction, and I refuse to take steps. I refuse to move my legs. Except I fly, bruh. I'm not reaching any junction, I'm not reaching any door, right? And that's just how the bigger picture scenario always goes. So one of the little steps or the big steps that I feel like is very, very necessary for anyone to take is the little step or the big step of self-control. I also like to think that every single decision that anybody makes is as a result of their self-control level, good or bad. Good or bad. So yes, I live with 2 children, actual children. One is 3 and the other is one is 2 and the other is 4, going to 5. Approaching 3, approaching 5. Yes. So yes, there are times that we'll step out together and like, I have biscuits for them to eat, and maybe their mom gives me biscuit to feed them with, like, to engage them while, let's say we go to church, for example, or fellowship, and I just have to tell myself that, oh, go, if you eat this biscuit, you do not have self-control, because self-control is going as far as telling yourself, this biscuit I will not eat. If you cannot control yourself from little things, the things that are not even so much of big desires to you, then I promise you cannot control yourself from the greater temptations. Remember that I said that I would like to associate them together, temptations and self-control. And you know that I also like to think of it this way: temptations as the bad guy and self-control as a good guy. Of course, this good guy is already sponsored by the spirit. It's the fruit of the spirit, and this one is is as a result of your desires. You can check that in James chapter 1. But you're not tempted by God. You're never tempted by God, so you can know that temptations are never even sponsored by God. It's either as a result of your desires, as James has said, or really just the devil trying to play tricks with you, right? So if people's things don't enter your eyes normally, then stealing cannot really be a thing you need to, push yourself to control yourself, against, because stealing is not my thing, bruh. So, self-control will come easy for you that way. So, in my scenario of saying that when your alarm rings, get up, it's not so easy to get up once your alarm rings, especially if that you're probably tired. But of course, eventually your body gets used to it, and that's the exercise of self-control. Keep on exercising yourself so that when the bigger temptation comes, you're able to overcome. Struggling with some lusts, struggling with sexual immorality, struggling with masturbation, pornography, and all that. Why do I say these things as struggles? Why? Because some people like to say that, oh, masturbation, for example, is not a sin because it's you're satisfying it's self-pleasure. You don't want to have to go out and cheat and blah 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 blah. What's my reason, or what do I think? What has God revealed to me that, oh, this is the answer to this question? Possibly it's that God doesn't want anything to control us. God doesn't want anything to be our God, because anything that controls you is your God. And that's why we still stick to saying that self-control is a fruit of the Spirit, in that the Holy Spirit eventually is the one controlling us. God doesn't want anybody to have the upper hand, to say that, oh, I'm in charge of you. But do you know that anything that controls you is anything that you cannot stop doing, out of will, is controlling you. Anything that cannot, that dictates how you operate or how you behave is controlling you. So if it's easy, stop masturbating. If it's easy, stop pornography. Then you will know whether or not those things are controlling you or not. If you can stop by yourself, like immediately you say, I don't want to do this no more, and you can stop, then you know that there's no problem. But I promise you, it's not easy to stop these things just like this, because they are spirits. There are spirits associated with these things that are not just cut off just like that. I don't know if you get me. But because self-control is the fruit of the Spirit, you can overcome all of these other spirits by a higher spirit, which is the Holy Spirit. Now, let's talk about other things, self-control related. Every sin that anyone commits, every mistake, okay, let's say you don't want to call it sin, every mistake anyone makes is as a result of their inability to control themselves. Now, let's say stealing, you see something, you're unable to control your desire to to carry face away, so you take it. Or lying, you're unable to control yourself from saying what is not true. Your brain just processes and processes and processes. Why can't you just say, oh, I will not lie, and so from then henceforth, you stop lying? But because these things are actually more spiritual, I wanted to come from two different ways, but I realized that it's even a lot more spiritual than it is physical. Because if it's easy, stop now, stop. And this is just to say that you need a higher power, you need a higher spirit, because all these other things are spirits. You need a higher spirit to help overcome these spirits, right? And that spirit is the Holy Spirit. Whether or not you agree with me that spirits they cause all your bad behavior, it's fine. But I choose to stay on what I choose to say, right? The Holy Spirit is a higher power, and all other things that cause us to mess up our desires and the power of sin, pretty much. Even thinking certain thoughts, thinking bad thoughts about yourself, thinking bad thoughts about other people, thinking bad sexual thoughts, is still as a result of self-control. If you can tell yourself, I won't do this no more, I won't think about it no more, then do it. If you can, do it if it's easy, right? But self-control, I don't know if you guys get the picture. I feel like eventually I might have to do this all over again. This video is kind of like a break loose from my lack of self-control from the past days. So I feel like I'm not even hit the nail on the head on the stuff that I wanted to talk about. So I had to properly go back and prep for this video. It feels like I've finally broken free from my laziness and procrastination. So hopefully I'm going to shoot a next video sooner than later, actually sooner than later, because yes, this matter needs to be dissected. So you guys can put prompts in the comment section to guide the next video. Still talking about self-control. There are a lot of things. Remember, I still want to post a video on social media, a part 2. I'm still going to do that, and it's going to be more personal. I'm going to be talking about specific things, more specific subject matters. But about this self-control issue, about this self-control matter, we're definitely coming back to settle it. But yes, give me prompts in the comment section if you have any, and I'm going to be back by the grace of God, stronger, bigger, and better. But just remember, temptations and self-control go hand in hand. They're not brothers and sisters. They're just they're rivals. They're rivals. If you can overcome every temptation, now don't think of temptation just as temptation is as far as deciding to sleep extra when you should be awake. And even let's talk about the professional life. I'm going to wrap up this very soon anyways, because I've already started wrapping it up. But talk about your career life. If you need to take some steps to get to where you're supposed to be and you refuse to take those steps, you're still being tempted to not take those steps, and you're just giving in to those temptations. So self-control says that I'm supposed to take a course for 2 hours today, and I will do just that. Right? So even in building your life here on earth, in associating with people, self-control is necessary. It is necessary. But yes, that's pretty much it about today's video. I'm excited about what the next one is going to be about. But in the meantime, make sure you like this video. Make sure you share it, because I know that it is a very important subject matter that needs to be spoken about. So make sure you give it a thumbs up as well. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you get a notification for when next I post a new video. Yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little short one. Peace out. Bye.